Good afternoon. I'm out and about today. I went to get some stationery today. Do you like stationery shopping? It's one of those things that I actually really enjoy. And today I was looking for some special stationery to be sending out to some special people. So I was last night reading a book, reading Grit by Angela Duckworth. Hey Kim, so lovely to see you. I was actually, what did I say? Grit, yes, the research behind grit. And it really got me thinking a lot about what I understand about the concept grit. And I thought that I would share some of my initial reactions to reading the book. So Angela Duckworth basically is very interested in trying to figure out, when you look at people who are successful, in terms of persevering and having a great sense of endurance to achieve things, what makes them stand out? And she talks about how, it's not necessarily cognitive or IQ resources that make a difference, but about this thing called grit. And grit is basically the combination of passion and interest and a kind of deep perseverance. So when you put passion plus perseverance, or interest plus endurance, you get grit. Now, if I just say to you grit, what comes to your mind? Something that's gritty is actually very grainy, right? It's got grit, it's got traction, it's got something that you can sort of rub, and there's friction and there's tension and stuff is happening. That's gritty. And really that's the concept of psychological grit. There's actually a lot of reality to grit, in that when you're thinking about your goals and when you're thinking about where you're heading to, gritty people, she says, but I think that's how she calls it, gritty people don't just have a vision or a goal for today or 5 years or for 10 years down the line. Gritty people are compelled by some kind of lasting legacy, area of service to people. They're compelled to problem solve, to figure some stuff out, to do with not just a vision or a long-term goal for themselves, but truly to make change and to bring a difference. And as I've been reading this, I've been thinking a lot about my own journey with wanting to see an end to burnout, because burnout basically erodes grit, right? If you don't have enough fuel in your tank to endure and to be gritty, then what a loss for us all. It brought me to think, though, about how gritty people, according to Angela Duckworth, really focus on the micro skills that are required to go and build for that bigger future, the things that they need. So, for example, elite musicians will practice, short bits of a piece where they're weakest at, just over and over and over again. Just a small bit of their weakest bit over and over again, listening into that small bit. They're eliciting lots of feedback, and they want you to hit them hard with the critical feedback for that little piece, because once they practice and have mastery over that little bit, the hump is over. Now, Angela Duckworth says that this is where she thinks the concept of flow comes, that you don't get into that sort of creative, energized space until you do the micro bits of work in the small bits where mastery and experience meets passion. Now, I put it to you, how gritty are you with your discipline to self-care? How gritty are you with your discipline to self-care? Have you taken a small part of the vulnerability that you might have that's contributing to the burn factor, and just focusing on it and strengthening that one bit over and over and over and over again? Are you getting feedback from others that's saying, hey, how are you going in that small part of your self-care rhythms and routines? Are you actually inviting feedback, even criticism in that small bit? Because if we are not gritty, even about our self-care and preservation routines, we're not going to be gritty for anything else. That's the basic fundamental of burnout in health professionals and when you're caring for others, right? So my message for you today is, can you identify one small bit in your routines and rhythms that is causing you some kind of burnout or some kind of exhaustion or some kind of demoralization? Can you take that small chunk and work on it and work on it and work on it to strengthen it and stay accountable with someone and get feedback from someone so that you get to a point of mastery where you think, whoa, I'm in flow with that bit now. Could be anything. It could be the thing that you're working on with exercise, with your eating, with your sleep, with peer support, with reaching out to others, with help-seeking behavior, the R's that I talk about: recharge, recovery, reflection, whatever it is. Just choose that one small bit and let's be gritty about it. Okay, catch you later.